You look hot. Normally we use this language. So we refer this phrase to the body. Body, appearance, dress, you look very hot. You look very. But if you say the mind is hot, then what happens? Your mind is very hot. So that mind is very poor. Mind is what means that it has discontentment, it is poor mind, it has an anxiety, it has duality, it is a crazy mind. It is not able to change its behavior and attitude. Huh? So see the phrase, you look very hot. So that refers to the body. But if we say your mind is very hot, then what happens? Mind is burning, mind has a discontentment, that mind is very poor. So we are working and understanding that how to bring about a change in the behavior and attitude of the mind. And it is only possible when there is a marriage between the intellect and the mind. Intellect is known as buddhi in Sanskrit, and that word buddhi is also used for, Buddha. Same word came, awakened. Buddhi also means a proper instrument, intellect. Buddhi also means the knowledge. So here it means the knowledge. The knowledge must change the mind. That is hot. You look hot, that's okay. But the mind should not be hot. If the mind is hot, then everything is destroyed in life. Why mind is hot? Impurities of the mind. Why you look hot? Because because for the person who said you look hot means that he or she likes your body, appearance, dress. But if your mind is hot, then everything is gone. So there should be a marriage between the mind and the intellect. And the intellect is nothing but the knowledge, the wisdom. Can tiger change by the knowledge? No. Can buffaloes, can ant, can mosquitoes? We are given the human body, gifted human body, to bring about a change. No other living species can change. I have already changed, because if the other people do not change, what should I do? You change. You cannot change others. That is the message of the Eastern wisdom. So that brings us, we are going deeper. That's why I changed the title. Have you seen that? Did you listen to the audio files? Seeker lives wisely. So, all about the intellect to bring about a marriage between the mind and the intellect. So, we can change if you start thinking with the five factors of any event: the cause, the nature, the effect, and progress, and the result. A person in your life is angry and upset. Why don't you listen to me? Cause. What is the cause? How you respond to it. What is your nature and what is his or her nature? What effect it has on your mind? Do you have a level of endurance? Can you keep calm? Can you be quiet? Can you withdraw yourself? you are progressing. You ask the mind, don't become hot. It's not the time to be hot. Don't run after the popular notion. Normally women told me, after all, it's a question of women liberation. How can I tolerate, endure, in order to increase the power of the mind? It has nothing to do with women's liberation, man's liberation. We have a lot of movement in India also about man's liberation. The men's believe that the laws that are made, it is going against the women. It is going against the man. So the mind here, the Eastern wisdom perceives with reference to the mind. You have to change the mind. There must be a perfect marriage between the body and the mind. You see, our intellect, the human intellect, is free to observe, to choose, and the control. So I can find the cause. I can find the cause. Does a tiger ever think, why I'm killing these animals? I have a choice to eat fruits and vegetables. Think, I have a choice. I have a choice. Just example. I'm not favor or against any eating any food. But this is just an example. So because I have a freedom to observe, to choose and control, and I can find out my nature. My nature is peace and happiness, love and wisdom. Finished. Someone is becoming an angry, so I say, because of the man's or women liberation, I have also right to react. No, I have to see my nature first. So the mind must remember my nature is the real self, and I am in my nature is peace. Can peace respond to that person? And you will see the instant effect. You'll feel lightness. And that indicates the progress, a level of endurance. Result, what is the result? You awaken to the six treasures that we have been talking about. Do you remember the six treasures? No worries, don't remember, so I'll remind you. When we follow these five factors again and again, repeatedly, in our daily life, in our daily action, in our daily behavior, in our daily attitude, sorry, mind starts changing. The mind starts changing its behavior and attitude. That mind becomes empty. The empty mind reflects the real self. The real self is pure consciousness of the nature of peace, happiness, love, and wisdom. We are carried away by the effect. One is angry, that is an effect of something that you did not agree with someone. So just look at it. Who am I? Find out the cause. I am the body? No. The person is becoming angry over the body. Because when he looks at you, then only he becomes angry. Body neither accepts the anger nor rejects the anger. Body is unconscious. Body is matter. It is inert. I am conscious. I am conscious of the person becoming agitated or anxious. I am conscious, I am consciousness. So nothing in the world can affect this consciousness, the ultimate cause. I remember this. The intellect has the knowledge, it passes on to the mind, you are free. Nature of that knowledge, nature of that real self is unchanging. Can your blame change me? Can your complaint change me? Can your reaction change me? Yes, if I am the body and the mind. If I am the real self, no change. We have to use this intellect to remind the mind, to bring about a change in our daily life. We believe we have intellect and we have also the mind, or you don't have it. You have an intellect, that's why you are listening. And you have a free intellect, that is why you are able to listen and learn. Animals do not have that free intellect, they are intelligent. Swarup, nature. And the third is the effect. Then you can find out the effect. The moment you remember only through the intellect, it goes into the mind, you simply remember. Buddha says mindfulness is nothing but self remembering. The Sanskrit word is used samyak smriti. Samyak means right, smriti means memory. We have, at least I would say, 10 different traditions in India which which has a process of self-remembering. Find out the ultimate cause and then remember the ultimate cause. The ultimate cause is the consciousness. Consciousness cannot be affected, cannot change by any situation outside, any person outside, any event outside. Hence, I remember that I am the consciousness. Finished. So, what is the progress? We never lose that state of relaxation and calmness. When we do not lose that state of, not because I'm holding back, but because it is my nature. And that understanding, that realization is present in the mind. That is why I am relaxed. It is not a reaction. It is not hiding. So, what we are doing, we are asking the mind to reflect the real self. That is the result. I am trying to be as logical as possible to explain through the reasoning to remove lot of doubts, conflict, and confusion. We commit mistake. I miss unreal as real. That is the meaning of mistake. I miss what I miss? I miss the real. So why I miss the real? Because I take the unreal as real. That is the meaning of mistake. Now, that's my explanation. But you can find out in the English dictionary. Mistake, error. It has an element of ego. Think of this. This mind, which is impulsive, instinctive, and habitual, on one hand, it do not want to change its behavior and attitude. On the other hand, the intellect says that I have understood it. So there is a gap between the two. We have to bridge this gap. We have to bring the marriage between the mind and intellect all the time in thinking, in speaking, in acting. You are sitting alone, for example, you had a fight with someone, or maybe your honey, maybe your relations, and you are sitting alone. And now the mind keeps on thinking in terms of reaction, blame, and complaint. Stop this. Your mind has become hot, your mind is burning. It will not give you anything. Result will be drastic. Ultimately, you create an image about that person. Next time you meet, you are ready to fight. Those accumulated impressions, mind becomes a terrorist. I'm using strong words so that it should hit you. No, it should not hit you, it should hit your mind. The mind should not become a terrorist with full of blame, complaint, reaction, hesitation, anger. It must go so that this mind becomes pure and it should be able to reflect the pure consciousness. That is our journey. So you see that by default, this mind has three factors that prevents realization of the real self. First is the impurities of the mind. Second is the projection caused by them in the mind. And third is the ignorance. What you think about me, whether good or bad, it is your projection. That is the projection. You look yourself into the mirror, what do you think about yourself? That is also a projection. But all our projections comes from the combination of the attachment and identification with the body and the mind. That is why we have to examine through these five factors to get rid of those projections. So when you start thinking in line with these five factors, you discover, oh, mind becomes at ease. It is not hot now. It is not a terrorist. It is ready to receive and respond. It is ready to move with affection. Three factors: impurities, projections, and ignorance. So once we remove the impurities and projections, then only listening and learning from the teacher will benefit you 100%. Did you get the answer? How many times I have to listen to you? Millions of times. So there are a lot of impurities in the mind that we should recognize, and we should put the knowledge, we should remove the projection, and once we remove that projection, we will find out. You see the mantra, let everyone be happy. So the intellect perceives that let everyone be happy. It perceives. You can think even of imagination. It has a perception, let everyone be happy. So that knowledge goes to the mind in the field of awareness. It dissolves my blame and complaint and reaction in my mind. I am being selfish in order to recite the mantra to change my behavior and attitude. You see the way we practice our meditation in this journey. So you may have a question that what is this contemplation and reflection? At present is follow the cause, the nature, the effect, the progress and the result. All the five factors. Find out. Say today or yesterday you had some event, an incident, you feel stressed. You have to think in terms of these five factors to find out the cause, and you will discover that the mind has projected that blame and complaint will dissolve by itself. That is the beauty of the marriage between the intellect and the mind. Impurities of the mind. Impurities. To make anything dirty, it's very easy. Anything dirty. Our dress, our clothes, and our mind. To get dirty requires no effort. All are crazy except me. It doesn't take any effort to make the mind dirty. But to clean it, to purify, it needs too much of effort. Think. To make the mind pure, right effort in a right direction is required. That is what our masters are teaching. If the mind is impure for a longer time, our behavior and attitudes cause restlessness, problems, conflict, reactions, anxiety, duality. So when the mind remains impure for a longer period, we need a spatial means. We need an effort to get rid of this accumulated dirt. It takes time. It takes time. The constant understanding with the regular practice, there is no shortcut solution. If you think that there is a shortcut solution, like what? Like you have not taken a bath for 5 days and you have to attend a party. So what is the solution? Perfume. But that cannot be a solution for the mind. There is no shortcut solution for the changing the behavior and attitude of the mind. It takes time. At the physical level, it is possible. It is possible. Normally, people do, sometimes. No, I have not taken a bath. Oh, you have such a good fragrance. Oh, yes, yes. It is possible for the body, but quick fix is possible. Marriage between the mind and the intellect is very much required. This is what our masters are saying. Understand one more point and think it over so that we will take up in the next session. So, if we understand the effect, you can say, or consequences of the impurity of the mind, one thing that we realize that I have an uncontrolled behavior. I become uncontrolled in a situation with the people, in relationship, or with myself. Oh, I can sit in a room and alone, what happened, no, no, don't touch me not. I have a lot of anxiety, duality. Huh? What is the result? Heavily conditioned mind, we feel a sense of uncontrolled behavior in public, uncontrolled behavior in public, in relationship, with our honey, uncontrolled. So if we look into the cause, so Gita says Tripti, Tushti, and Rati. This mind is constantly seeking impulsively the pleasure from outside. Uncontrolled behavior, the cause we are finding. So think of it. So when we had the uncontrolled behavior, and and this is because of the absence of discernment and dispassion. And the second thing, that this mind, intellect listens, intellect understands, intellect, when I put the argument as a teacher and I put the reason, you say, yes, you are right. But the mind is not able to develop a faith on the real self. That is the second problem of the mind. And third is the ignorance. So all the three are related. Do you have a stress? Yes, I had lot of stress. But peace is your essential nature. I will take care of that peace at the time of my death. When it is already within me, let me suffer from the stress. I don't have a faith. I can give you hundreds of examples. No, no, you are responsible for my anger. Hell with your peace. I don't have faith. No, I mean, my mind does not have a faith in peace. Do you see? I've used two expressions. I can use millions of. I don't have that faith. So they all three are related. I have ignorance, I have loss of faith, and then loss of no, totally uncontrolled. Uncontrolled. Even mentally, emotionally uncontrolled, expressively uncontrolled. I stop being a human. The impurities of the mind has all the three factors. Think of it this week, so we will go little deeper next time. So close your eyes. Position of the body. Have started little intense practice. So eyes are closed, body is comfort, check that body is in a right position. Body is inert. So who takes care of the body? The mind. And once the mind looks at the position of the body, it adjusts and aligns, it stops moving. It means my mind is following the instruction. You see a low level of the ignorance, many people feel, my body is very stiff. No, it has nothing to do with the stiffness in the body. We are going deeper. We are a seeker now. So there is no struggle. You resolve the struggle between the mind and the body. That is the meaning of the position of the body, and eyes are gently closed. And that also means how fast we are settled, being comfortable. Settled in the comfort is the experience in the mind of the knowledge. See that? And that I oversimplified by looking at the neck joint. So you have a memory of the neck joint, that's why you're looking there. So memory and the information comes from the intellect. See that? And then you are aware, then you experience the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Sensation, comfort, and steadiness is an experience, is a knowledge, is an awareness. You are still taking care of the mind. You want a marriage between the mind and the intellect. Still in this practice, perceive at a very subtler level to go deeper. Eastern wisdom is just a play about awareness, from a lower level of awareness to the higher, to the highest. What is highest? Real self. Oh, do you mean real self is present in being comfortable? 100%. See the deeper insight. When we use these 5 factors, we get the deeper insight. Move the mind on the shoulder joints. Be there. Be there means you are aware. You are aware means I'm conscious. And then we change the track. You are conscious, okay. You are conscious of sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Because the mind is yet to be ready. The entire body, from the top of the head to the toes. You are settled in the comfort with an experience of sensation, comfort, and steadiness. You don't need to practice postures for years and years to be comfortable, to be settled in the comfort. You can follow any position, any posture. So what will happen? We'll talk later. Being carefree. When a mind realizes that there is a distance between the thoughts, feeling, and the mazes, you see all these thoughts as a knower, as the seer, you're done. You're carefree. I have explained, you might remember, carefree means free from the cares of the mind. This mind, the impure mind, does not allow me to remain carefree. That is the cause of the wandering, distracted disillusioned mind, deluded mind. Thoughts are coming and going. Let it come and go. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. From the intellect goes to the mind. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Let there be well-being for all. Knowledge, I had explained during the discussion, well-being. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Let there be peace for all. Why peace for all? Why I'm seeking? Is it unrealistic? No. Peace is our essential nature. The very peace is existence. It is all pervading. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Let there be wholeness, completeness. You need to reflect on it. If there is a sense of incompleteness, if there is a sense of completeness and a wholeness is present in the mind, this mind is not going anywhere. It has resolved all the impurities. Is that so? Yes. Something pops up in the mind, a sense of insecurity. To fill that insecurity, the mind starts running outside. So it has the accumulated impressions. So there is a corresponding trigger. Then we start thinking, and that is what we say the wandering mind is. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Let there be auspiciousness for all. Let the intellect push the mind gently to see being auspicious in the auspicious moment. Not a big deal. We're asking the mind to marry with an intellect, with an intellect. We are not asking anything less or more. So now look inside the forehead, focus inside the forehead at any point. At any point means you see the space and pick a point in the space. Very good. And now start breathing quick and short breath from the chest through both the nostrils for 2 minutes. We are breathing for 2 minutes. Only for 2 minutes. short and quick breath from the rib cage. The rib expands and contracts. There is an expansion and contraction of the rib cage, and you continue breathing. And stop it. Do nothing. Just do nothing. Return to the point of focus deep inside the forehead. There you will find a sense of absorption. And just check it. A point of absorption. You are aware of that infinite space, a point there, and you feel a sense of absorption. So we understand symbolically, consciousness is everywhere, to make it clear as a seeker. But we are using these simple symbols, symbolic centers, to bring about a change in the mind, to purify it. So the second center, keep looking deep inside the forehead. But now when we do the belly breathing, that is little bit longer. So we are tapping the power of action. So now what we do, keep looking inside the forehead at any point in the space and start breathing from the belly. It's a little longer. Only for 2 minutes. Someone was saying that it's a very intense. You're only doing for 2 minutes. Tantra recommends minimum 9 minutes each. Let us see where we can go. Continue. Your mind will say no, that is an objection of the mind. The mind will say no, objection of the mind. How come the objection? Due to impurity. What is required? I'm just giving a brief, clear reference. What is required? Endurance, patience, and continuity. Continuity. The mind will blame, complain, react, but you continue. This is only for the seekers. You all are seekers. One has to refrain from the practice if one is doing for the first time and did not follow the entire series. and stop it. Focus remain there deep inside the forehead. A sense of absorption is there. Oh, there is nothing like the bodilessness, and we can feel that. You might have experienced the mind objects, and virtually the mind stops breathing. So we have to make the mind say yes. Now keep looking again at a point inside the forehead, and this time it's a long and a hissing breath both from the belly and the chest. You inhale, belly expands, continue to inhale, the chest expands. Continue to exhale from the belly and the chest. Conscious movement you should feel of the belly and the chest. How long? Only 2 minutes. Only 2 minutes. Long and hissing breath. And stop this, do nothing. Keep your focus deep inside the forehead at a point. So, what happens? That point expands. Who experiences the mind? Then, what happens as the point expands? We find a kind of we find this self absorption. That does not mean we have become unconscious. So you will understand the entire mechanism, the way the mind works. So what will happen? Uncontrolled becomes controlled. And I'll start breathing deep, silent and slow, moving the mind from the crown of the head to the tailbone, singing Shantu Hum. Virtually you are singing in your mind. In this space, keep looking, finding the space inside the spine with the breath going in and out, deep, silent and slow. Pay attention, little more attention to this tag. I said deep, silent, slow. So when there is no noise, your level of awareness goes up. No, try this. There is no noise of the breath. It is deep. It is slow. So we are taking care of the mind. What? Yes, we are taking care of the mind through the breath. Do 100 deep silent slow breathing before you sleep and after you wake up, only for 3 weeks, and see the result. Make a commitment. Simple thing. Deep silent and slow breath as you inhale or exhale. The mind moves between the 2 points, crown of the head and the tailbone, in the spine, singing Om Shanti. Now I'll leave this breathing also. Go back to the triangle in the heart. Look deep inside the heart in the space. Visualize, imagine the triangle facing upward, equilateral triangle. Moving the mind on each side, dropping Om Shanti on each side of a triangle for a couple of times. And when you find mind is not inviting any other thought, Shantoham or Om Shanti, both are okay. And then center the triangle Shanto. You're singing and the mind is moving deep inside. It seemingly stops. Hum. That hum word means I am. I am the peace. I'm the peace? Yes. The declaration comes from the mind, aligns with the knowledge in the intellect, awakens. At the moment, Shantoham, you said, you maintain that silence, but if the mind returns to any thought, return to the triangle. And again, Shanto, hum. Shantoham, 2 syllables, you can, through the listening, you can understand. Shanto Ham means I am the peace. Ham word means I am. Basically, it is aham. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside, know your experiences, and bring the hands down. How are you, Stephen?
Good. That was extremely quick and a very deep meditation for me. Just the most noticeable things was the body temperature. With every step of the way, every change in breath technique, I just kept getting colder and colder. And then I was so deep inside the triangle that when you started chanting, it actually startled me and brought me back out. So it was great. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. You see his clarity of explaining. So, how are you, Brandy?
Good morning. I'm good. My meditation was really focused, and I think the steps. It's nice to go back to the steps with the 3-step breathing. and the focus in the mind, it helped me a lot today.
Lot. Very good. Good. Very good. So, how about you, Rakesh?
Sorry. Uh, so the things were very different today with the breathing. It was at the end of each breathing step, there was very deep silence. When I reached the triangle, it seems like somebody is doing meditation, like Lord uh, uh, Shiva.
Yeah.
And the triangle looks like that, and I felt I also become that. The so there are two, one the triangle and one doing that, and so this it was at the end it was looking like everything I am watching uh, from from a distance.
From a
Like
distance.
whatever is happening, whether it is a breathing or whatever, I'm just watching from a distance.
Yes. Yes. So we will understand that we are watching from a distance. That is one aspect of the witness consciousness that we are doing it on Saturdays. And what the Stephen is saying and what the Rakesh is saying, totally getting deeper into the triangle, getting absorbed, and then we wait there. So we wait there, we find the thoughts are as if they are totally outside. I'm totally absorbed into the silence. That is one aspect. And the second aspect I will introduce what he says, the appearance of the Shiva. That we will talk later. How are you, uh, Barbara?
I'm very good, thank you. The meditation went very fast for me today as well. And the breathing techniques, you said 2 minutes. It seemed like it was a minute or less. I mean,
She is
could have
ready
gone,
for.
I could have and wanted to go on more with that. And after that, though, I was very absorbed and very peaceful. And it was beautiful. Thank you.
Beautiful. I'm ready. Now it means you all are ready for 3 minutes.
Yes.
Randy is laughing differently. So, yeah, we can do it for 3 minutes. That's really good, Barbara. That's good to listen. That helps. So, how are you, Anesthesia?
Thank you. I'm very peaceful, and this new breathing technique, I've been always struggling with breathing with my belly. It's a little bit hard, and it gives a lot of new sensations in the body. And it also was very quick, and I've only done maybe a few times during these 2 minutes. And I was sitting today on a chair, and my feet, because usually I do my meditation sitting in a lotus position, but today I was sitting with my feet on the ground, and this is so unusual and new. I am feeling grounded, like very stable, at the same time in the middle of nowhere, when the world disappears and you sit on the chair like in the air, but very stable. So
A sense of bodilessness comes. Yes, you see that when you are doing 2 minutes of the breathing, so there are variety of experiences. As Stephen was saying, extreme cold, we will feel extreme hot, we will have lot of visions, we may have tingling or numbness. we may have almost the body, a sense of bodilessness. Sometimes we also experience a fear. So, but if we continue, the time comes when will be a total silence. The moment we start breathing, the mind is totally absorbed, it starts moving within. That is the principle of the tantra that we will talk later. And how are you, Vaibhav?
So I'm very relaxed. It was very calm. It gets me to a state where I'm very steady, and from there I can see that when my breathing is, I'm conscious about my breathing, or it is happening habitually. Same thing happened with my thoughts also. Like, I know these are habitual thoughts, but when I get conscious, it was steady, and then I became conscious, and it became very steady.
Yeah, yeah. That's a very good point. I think everyone understood that. The moment I bring all the mind or the thinking mind in the field of awareness, all the thoughts will go away. It will not disturb. Same thing when I bring the breath, I'm breathing consciously, I'm breathing from the chest, I'm breathing from the belly, I'm breathing from both. When we do that, what happens? This prana energy starts rising up. But why they are rising up? Just to give you so that we should be ready for why it is rising. Because when we are doing the breathing, it is rising up means what? It is leaving the impressions accumulated in the mind of impurities that makes the mind pure. Did I make it clear? A thought is the impurity of energy in the mind. Am I making a crazy statement? A thought or a desire is the impurity of energy in the mind. So through the breathing, we are taking care of the mind. We'll understand that. It's a very interesting principle in our